Let's be incredibly real for a second. Even though artificial intelligence is evolving at lightning speed, the actual number of folks leveraging it effectively remains surprisingly low. So what exactly creates this massive gap between the absolute pros and your average casual user? The secret sauce isn't about how poetically you can write a command. It entirely depends on whether the output actually tackles the heavy lifting of your specific workflow. I've watched countless creators drop serious bags on expensive courses just to figure out character consistency, or throw cash at premium software only to stay stuck at square one. As someone who ruthlessly scours every corner of the internet for technical documentation, I won't judge if paying a guru is the right move for you. However, I am totally here to spill the tea on the hardcore lessons I've absorbed while grinding out automated content over these past few months. Welcome back to episode 2 of the AFK Artistry series with G-lab Automation. I am the Ernesta, your guide to stripping away the intimidating tech jargon and plugging pure magic into our streamlined systems. Just like I promised, today we are going to dissect exactly what makes those expensive premium prompts tick. We will rely heavily on official developer guidelines specifically tailored for generating visual media. Let's kick things off with the absolute foundation by looking at image generation. According to the big G themselves, a truly goated prompt shouldn't read like a novel. It simply needs to nail 6 core ingredients. First up is the subject. Who exactly are we talking about and what is their vibe? Next is context. Where is this happening and what is the lighting situation? Then comes action. What literal movement are they performing right now? Followed by camera. Are we talking a sweeping wide shot or an intimate macro lens? Don't forget the aesthetic. Specify your art style and the overall color palette. Finally, we have technical constraints. This covers your aspect ratios, desired resolution, and any negative parameters. Let me drop a quick example for you. In a minimalist 2D cel-shaded cartoon style with thin black lines, worn dusty walls, and a desaturated cold palette, a slim pale young man with a long narrow face, weak blue-gray worried eyes with dark circles, thin furrowed brows, a small straight nose, thin pressed lips, black earplugs, and short dark brown slightly messy hair hunches at his keyboard in a dark blue-gray crewneck sweatshirt. Fingers splayed mid-typing as books and scattered papers sit behind him. In the dim living room, a mid-20s pale woman in a simple dark coat stands near the brown-gray sofa and says flatly, then falls silent as the room tone and faint clock tick swell. The static eye-level medium-wide 35 to 50 mm framing leaves empty space to the left, lit only by a weak lamp grazing faces in the door edge. Aspect ratio 16:9. No text overlays, no watermarks, no extra limbs, no floating objects, no blurry faces. Let's tear that apart real quick. The subject is that stressed out dude with the messy hair and specific facial features. Our context places him inside a dimly lit living space. His action involves hunching over a keyboard while typing frantically. Aesthetically, we requested a cel-shaded cartoon vibe utilizing desaturated colors. Wrapping it up, our technical constraints demand a widescreen format without any weird anatomical glitches. Seeing it broken down like that proves you don't need a masterclass. You just need to plug your ideas into the exact structural framework the developers literally gave us. Now, how does this translate to motion pictures? Transitioning into video territory requires exactly 7 elements. We keep the subject. We maintain the context. The action stays put. Camera angles remain crucial. Aesthetics are still mandatory. Technical constraints absolutely carry over. But now, we introduce audio. You must describe the dialogue, ambient noise, and any sound effects. Comparing the two formulas reveals we literally just bolted an audio description onto the previous framework. Boom! Your static picture command just evolved into a cinematic sequence. Taking our previous stressed hacker concept, let's inject some sound. In a minimalist 2D cel-shaded cartoon style with thin black lines, worn dusty walls, and a desaturated cold palette, a slim pale young man with a long narrow face, weak blue-gray worried eyes with dark circles, thin furrowed brows, a small straight nose, thin pressed lips, black earplugs, and short dark brown slightly messy hair hunches at his keyboard in a dark blue-grey crewneck sweatshirt. Fingers splayed mid-typing as books and scattered papers sit behind him. In the dim living room, a mid-20s pale woman in a simple dark coat stands near the brown-grey sofa and says flatly, "But I don't forgive you," then falls silent as the room tone and faint clock tick swell. The static eye-level medium-wide 35 to 50 mm framing leaves empty space to the left, lit only by weak lamp grazing faces and the door edge. Aspect ratio 16:9. No text overlays, no watermarks, no extra limbs, no floating objects, no blurry faces. That extra quoted dialogue completely shifts the dynamic.
But I don't believe you.
The underlying philosophy is beautifully simple. Instead of memorizing a bunch of hollow catchphrases, lock down the master equation. Combine your character, environment, movement, lens, vibe, limitations, and soundscaping. Mastering this mindset means you will effortlessly orchestrate breathtaking scenes without relying on anyone else's templates. Enough yapping about theory, let's dive into today's main event, which is running Veo 3.1 through our automated setup. I already covered the basic operational presets last time, so we are skipping straight to the good stuff. Glance over at the right side of your dashboard. We are looking at 3 distinct operational modes. Mode 1 handles text to video and image to video conversions. Mode 2 builds clips using component references. Mode 3 is our dedicated scene builder for sequential framing. Let me explain the differences. With the first option, the machine generates exactly what you type. However, dropping a reference picture means your clip will physically start from that exact visual state. Check the screen to see what I mean. Without a visual anchor, the model hallucinates everything entirely from scratch. But the second I feed it a starting frame, the algorithm interpolates the subsequent motion directly from my upload. Moving on to the component option, things get slightly different. This feature uses your uploads purely for inspiration. The final render might not begin with your exact frame, but it will heavily borrow the aesthetic to fulfill your written request. Notice how the output on screen perfectly captures the vibe of my uploaded file without rigidly locking the camera. Finally, we have the continuity engine. This builder strings individual commands together to form a cohesive, uninterrupted movie. You can see the fluid results playing right now.
But I don't forgive you.
Just keep in mind that you can only provide a foundational visual anchor for the very first prompt in this specific mode. Let's speedrun the configuration settings across all 3 functions. I have arranged them side by side so you can spot the overlaps. They all share identical fields for selecting models, resolution, aspect ratios, file paths, queue management, and concurrent task limits. You also notice the lockseed feature exists for both standard generation and component referencing, though the sequential builder skips it entirely. The major divergence happens in how they handle reference materials. Since they share so much DNA, I will demonstrate the setup using the standard text-to-motion tool. I will also point out the unique quirks of the component mode as we go along. Let's get this spread. First, pick your engine flavor. We have a free tier that runs slightly slower. There is a fast lane option costing 10 credits. Or you can go all out with the premium quality tier for 100 credits. I am feeling frugal today, so free tier it is. Next up is resolution. Options include standard high definition, full HD, and gorgeous 4K. Bumping up the pixels will inevitably increase your render times, and that 4K flex will run you 50 credits. I usually stick to 1080p for a solid balance. When selecting Full HD, make sure to manually uncheck the lower resolution box to avoid generating annoying duplicates. For framing, you can choose widescreen or vertical formats depending on your platform. Batch size operates exactly like static generation. Dialing in 2 means every command spits out a pair of unique variations. I prefer speed, so keeping it locked at a 1-to-1 ratio works best for my pipeline. Concurrent threading is how we truly optimize the grind. Sending 6 simultaneous requests means we chew through the backlog insanely fast. Don't forget to configure your delay buffer. Setting a 20 to 30 second gap prevents those tragic server timeout errors. If you happen to rock a premium VPN, feel free to aggressively lower that delay. Now, let's talk about anchoring our visuals. We have several routing logic options here. The start-to-end logic does exactly what it sounds like. You define the opening shot and the concluding frame. You can manually assign these per task or let the software map them automatically. Clicking the designated boxes allows you to manually browse your local storage. The Gigabrine Play is letting the system read your folders sequentially. Just organize your files into 2 separate directories. Point the starting path to folder A and the concluding path to folder B. Watch how the interface instantly pairs everything up perfectly. The second logic pattern uses a single opener with varied conclusions. You pick one universal starting point, and the system automatically applies it across your entire batch. Then you simply map the ending folder just like before. The third pattern flips that concept entirely. You select one universal ending frame while pulling diverse openers from your designated folder. The final option is pure sequential magic. The climax of your first prompt literally becomes the genesis of your next one. Imagine having 3 pictures ready to go. Picture 1 and 2 form the first pair. Picture 2 and 3 form the second pair. This chain continues down the line. Back in the dashboard, simply point the starting directory to your folder. You can see the cascading logic populating the interface. Here is a crucial pro tip for this method. If your script contains 86 scenes, the math dictates you will only form 85 pairs. That leaves the final scene hopelessly stranded without an anchor. Always remember to toss 1 extra picture into your folder so the math balances out. Looking at my setup, you can see that missing link acting up, so I will quickly patch it with a filler file. Moving along, the lockseed toggle functions exactly like it does for static art. It mathematically forces the algorithm to maintain strict visual consistency across different generations. Ticking the global seed box forces every single prompt to inherit the DNA of the very first request. Let's pivot slightly to the component-based generator. This mode allows you to directly call upon specific files using text. As long as your written instructions include the exact file name, the tool will dynamically link everything together. Look closely at my prompt structure and the corresponding file names. Routing the directory ensures the software instantly recognizes and attaches the correct references. Alternatively, you can dump everything into the bulk upload section. Selecting multiple files this way will automatically arrange them in sequential order. You even have the freedom to manually inject them by clicking the attachment buttons next to each command field. Alright, the tour is officially over. Let's get our hands dirty with some practical application. I want to demonstrate 2 separate workflows to showcase how environmental locking actually feels in practice. Test 1 will utilize the strict start-to-end anchoring method. Test 2 will leverage the looser component referencing style. To draft the actual prompts, feel free to unleash ChatGPT, Gemini, or whichever language model you vibe with. Just rigorously enforce that master formula we discussed earlier. My team actually engineered a lightweight tool dedicated entirely to pre-production. Our process involves analyzing vocal tones, establishing a visual identity, drafting the raw script, and letting the machine expand it into detailed storyboards complete with voiceovers. The final step literally extracts the perfect parameters for generation. It even handles all the tedious metadata like thumbnails and search optimization automatically. All we have to do is review the package and hit publish. Enough stalling, let's run the render.
A few moments later.
Reviewing the first test run reveals something awesome. Because every clip initiates from a rigid visual anchor, the protagonist remains flawlessly consistent while driving the narrative forward. Switching over to the component result shows a totally different energy. These clips feel significantly more organic and unrestrained. Yet, the main subject still retains a ridiculously strong cohesive identity. That wraps up our comprehensive deep dive into mastering this automated powerhouse. If this breakdown genuinely leveled up your creator game, hitting that subscribe button would be incredibly clutch. In the upcoming installment, we will explore crafting highly personalized logic flows from scratch. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Good luck cooking up some absolute cinematic heat. Catch you in the next one.